Nano Banana by Google and Seedream by the team behind TikTok have unlocked motion graphics using AI, which were earlier not possible. In this video, I'll show you how to automate that with n8n and make product launch videos, data visualizations, name card animations, and even logo animations like this. These kind of motion graphics used to take anywhere between 200 to thousands of dollars and took weeks to complete, but now you can do this cheaper and faster. Once you learn this skill, you can actually create motion graphics and sell to companies, or you can actually utilize them in your own organization if you're already a motion graphics editor. For those of you who are new here, my name is Vaibhav and I have been using no code AI automation tools a lot, and I share my learnings with you so you can implement them yourself. And if you don't know about n8n, it's a no code AI automation tool, and as you can see, the demand and the trend for it has been going absolutely crazy. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and share it with a friend who wants to create motion graphics for themselves. We'll build this step by step, and if you actually want this template for yourself, just go to my free school community link in the description, download it, and come here and then import from file, and you will have the exact workflow that I'm showing here. And if you feel like you don't want to build this AI agent and you want to do it manually in a clunky fashion, then follow the video, and towards the end I'll also show you how you can do it, although I do not prefer it at all. So without further ado, let's see what we are going to be covering today. So first we'll talk about the tools used for this, then I'll talk you through the system structure, then we'll walk through the build, we'll see a couple of use cases, and then I'll talk about the costing of this. For the tools needed, we are going to be using n8n, our no-code AI automation platform. Then we'll use OpenAI's API, that is to basically understand the inputs of user and refine the prompt properly. We'll use FAL API so that we can access the image and video generation models. And those of you who don't know, they are a LLM marketplace where you have different image models, video models, and even avatar models and audio models as well. And lastly, we will use Google Drive so that we can store our inputs and outputs very well. I'll quickly walk through the system structure for this AI motion graphics agent so you have an overall idea of what the build looks like. And for the input, you're giving a start frame, end frame, and a base prompt. And for those of you who are not aware, any video is basically a series of multiple pictures, and these are called frames. So we are giving it the starting picture, starting frame, and the ending picture or ending frame. And then we are giving a base prompt, which is basically how the start picture should transition and look like and convert to an end frame. So that's the video prompt that you have. Then we have a prompt generator in which we take the user's input, refine it, and make it suitable so that a prompt is there. Then we use a video generator and we'll use Helio for that. So basically, once we have the start frame, end frame, and the refined prompt, we give it to the video generation model and it gives us back the output. And lastly, we use a video upscaling so that we can convert our video into a 4K 60 FPS video. And we'll use Topaz, which is used for upscaling videos and images. Let's quickly look at the system I have built. So basically this first section is user inputs and prompt refinement. Then we have a video generation step, and then we have a video upscaler step. I'll now walk you through every step and what's happening and explain how I've created the system. And if you actually want a live build, you can refer to my video at top right. It's an almost exact replica of the system. I've just changed a few prompts and few models. Let's quickly look at what the system structure is, and for that I'll just quickly run this form. So we will see what's happening, and we need to pull in a start frame, and I'll pull this frame, and then I will give it a prompt. I've given it second by second what happens, 0 to 1 second airport case opens, then airports emerge 1 to 2 second, and so on. I've given it every second. And then I choose an end frame, which is basically this version of an airports, and I submit this form. So now it will get stored, and as you can see, we have the outputs here, which are binary files, and then we have the schema where we have the user prompt as well. Next, I'll quickly run this step and then walk you through what's happening. So basically what we're doing is two steps. So first, we are analyzing the images. So basically I've used an image analytics prompt. So it analyzes the image and converts this into a text input, which can be then fed into the image generation prompt, my bad, video generation prompt. Now that I've run this, let me just quickly talk about what's happening at each node. So first is an analyze image node. So what is happening is I have given it an image analysis prompt. You can get it through ChatGPT, which is very straightforward. And what it is doing is converting the image and describing it in a way that LLMs can understand. So when we are refining our prompt, we will have an idea of what's there in the image. And same thing I have done for the end frame as well. This is two images, so two nodes for that. And then I have uploaded it into Google Drive so that we have a record of it and we can actually share an image URL as part of the model inputs. That's all what I am doing. On the output side, it's giving us a lot of information like ID, name, file type, and there are so many information, but these are the main informations. And then web view link, which is basically what we are going to be using. And the same thing is done for the other node as well, so that we are basically analyzing the image and then storing them. Next part is this merge node. So basically we have four different inputs branches, so we need to combine them before sending it to the next step. And why I did this is because we had binary files, and where we put the data field name, we need to have the binary file coming from the last node. So if I would have put this in series, it would not have recognized the binary file, because as you can see on the output, it doesn't have any binary, but input has a binary. So if a series workflow would not have recognized that. So that's why I created four separate branches and then merged it. Next comes the prompt generator, which helps us refine the video very properly. And as you can see, it is actually giving it in a very structured manner. Video begins with a close-up of elegant white airport case, and then so on and so forth. At the 1 second mark, case gently opens, and it has given it everything by 3.5 seconds. These should happen and so on. So this is how we have refined the prompt. The next step is generating the video. So let me just play this, and I'm doing this step by step because I want to talk about each step so you don't get overwhelmed by it and understand what is happening. On an overall level, what we are doing is we are giving the two inputs and the final prompt that we have to a video generation model, and then we are getting the output of it, and this is the exact structure for it. So the first node is create video, where we are sending the request. Then we have a wait time because video generation takes some time. Then we check the status, and then we check whether the status is completed or not, and then if it's completed, we get the result and download the video. If it's not completed, we wait again and then check the status again, and we keep doing this loop again and again. Now talking about the exact nodes, so as you will see, this is a API node, and you can actually go to FAL AI and get this curl command directly. So if I have to go here and show you very quickly, so I'll come back to the top. I'll search for Halo, which is the image generation model that we have used. And then you can click on this image to video, Halo to standard, or you can use the pro image to video model as well. It doesn't really matter. So let me just take this as an example. And if I come to API, and on the left side, there is this submitter request. So as you can see, it has given the curl command. So I'll actually just copy this from here to here, and then come back to n8n and click on import curl and paste the value here and click on import, and that's how you will get it. It will configure everything, the method, the URL, the credentials, and so on, and the JSON as well. Now one thing you need to keep in mind is you still need to connect it through an API key. So if I have to come to the file, I'll go to my account, and then I'll click on API keys here. And as you can see, I can click on add key here, and let's say I say demo, I can create the key. I can then get the key here, which is here. I can copy this, and you come back to n8n. In authentication, you say generic credential type, and then you say header auth, and then under this create new credential. Come to the name this as authorization. You come to value, write key, spacebar, and then paste the value. Now I have pasted authorization, but this will be the actual API key that you have copied from there and paste it here. And then you can rename it to file demo or something like that, whatever you want to rename. I'm not saving it because I already have a key. And then for the JSON body, what I've done is basically given it a prompt, image URL, and end image URL. And if you see the prompt here, I use json.stringify. The idea is that if we don't use this double inverted quotes at the start and end of it, the JSON might break. And if I remove this, there are chances that these might come double times as well. So that also breaks the JSON. So what this does is take the input and then converts this into a single in double inverted quotes, and these are not repeated. Let's say if I do this, then it might get broken. So that's what we want to avoid. Then for the image URL, what I've basically done is again use json.stringify, and I have added the first part, which is the common part, and I've just added the ID here. So if you remember from our upload start frame, we had this ID here. So that's what I had put this here and after the plus button. And as you can see, it is coming here like that. And if I remove this, I can get this there. And same, I've kept prompt optimizer as false because we have already done prompt optimizer in a way we wanted to do. And the end image URL is again very similar. I've added this particular field, which is basically common, and then added the end frame as well. Just looking at the output, we can see the status is in queue, we have a request ID and some URLs. So what I've done is next added 1 minute wait node and then check the status. So you can see this ran 6 times. So if I look at the first run, you can see the status is in progress. If I run it again, you can see the status is in progress. So until the 5th time it was in progress, and only in the 6th attempt it was completed. And I've again done the API node configuration in a similar way. I copied the command, got it here, and then put the request ID from the last node. Just drag and drop this here, right? And then we have this ID here, and after that I have authenticated with file the same credentials that we used in the last attempt, and that's it what I have done. After this, I have created an if node which basically says is the status, which is this node here, is equal to completed or not. If it's completed, then it goes to the next step. If it's not, and then it waits it out and then checks the status again, and the loop runs on and on. Next, we get the create result. So basically we get a URL of the final video that they have created, and we can actually use this. But if you want to get it as a file, so that's where you use this API node of getting the URL. And again, I've just dragged this here as well and then use this. And if I look at this video, I can just play it here as well. And as you can see, the airports are revolving quite beautifully here. And then they also added a third airport just to give some animations. Now the next step or the last step is upscaling the video. So let me just play this button so that it gets upscaled, and I will talk you through the different nodes. And if you see here closely, this structure and this structure is almost exactly the same. And you will see that only thing that I've changed is basically the model for upscaling. So here we were creating the video, here we are upscaling. Again, we have a wait time. The time can be defined because this is a shorter process. Then we have check status for creating video, check status for upscaling. And then we have if node for create and upscale, and same for get result and download as well. Obviously, the only differences that we have here are basically the URLs that we have and basically the JSON body. So I'll just quickly talk about it. So as you can see in this video URL, so basically we are using the last node's data to give it the video URL. We are also giving it an upscale factor of 2. So what happens is the video is converted into a 1024 pixel video, and we want to create it into 4K. So we use 2 so that the height is double and the width is double, so it becomes 4 times. And then we have a target FPS of 60. So that gives us 60 FPS 4K video. So that is for the configuration. And then we have a wait node. You can change the timing as you want. We then have a check status node. So basically once this is done, we will get the status of it finally. And lastly, we have this if node to check whether the status is completed or not. Then we upscale the result and get this data and see this ID, and then we download it. So let me just see when's it downloaded, and let me come back in a minute. Now that we have the final upscaled video, let's just look at it, and very quickly let me show you the file size. It is 75 MB, and if I show you the base file size, it was 266 KB, which is almost a 300 times addition. So you can understand the quality of this. I'll just quickly click on view button, and then we will see how it's happening. The airports are coming out, and then they are revolving, and everything is revolving. Oh wow, this was a good animation. Just to make it a bit more powerful, I went to Pixabay, downloaded some free sound effects, and then I'll show you the final output here. as you can see, the output is slightly different from what we had here because I had done this slightly before the video, and after every prompt there is slight difference in output. Next, we'll explore all the use cases. So product 3D graphics is what we just saw for the AirPods. Next, we'll cover logo animation, and then we'll cover the name card animation later on. So this is a logo animation setup that I have, and as you can see on the start frame, there is a box of this F logo, this Flipkart, which is an e-commerce brand, and then at the end frame we have the letters coming in 3D shape and format. And for the prompt, I said create a 6-second animation where the box opens, the letters come out of it, and then they sprinkle on the wooden board one by one. And then once we do that, then the lighting should remain the same. So as you can see, the shadow here and here, they should remain the same and create natural realistic shadows on the wooden surface. Camera should stay fixed at the same angle throughout. Let us quickly look at the final result here. So I'll just play this. Now this is really amazing. However, this is still not 100% perfect, and if I just scroll back here, as you can see, the shape of A is not as perfect as we want it at the end frame. So it's still developing, and Google's VO3 doesn't have the feature of giving the start and end frame, so you don't have a lot of flexibility, but once that comes, we can actually use that as well. The next is a name card animation which I used for my own YouTube channel, and you just saw that at my introductory part. And for the setup, what I did is gave this a green frame and a box with my initials on it. And for the end frame, I have given it again my initials, my name, and AI automation content creator. So for the prompt, what I asked it to do is basically this black box should stay constant in this green frame background because I can then actually edit it very quickly. And then the logo should slide here, and then my name should appear, and this should appear in an animation format. And let's just quickly look at that animation with the green screen now. Wow, that's really amazing. I think this is a really cool way of using this in your actual real life use cases. Next, let's talk about the cost structure of this. So basically you need to generate the start and end frames, and Nano Banana charges 4 cents an image. So basically per frame and per attempt. So you might need to do multiple attempts to get it right. So I've assumed 2 frames, which is obviously there, and 2 attempts. So this comes as 16 cents. Then video generation is 48 cents for the pro model and 27 cents for the standard model. You can choose whichever one you want. And then video upscaling is 60 cents, basically $0.1 per second into 6 seconds. And then prompt refinement, you can actually do it by this method, or you can do it for free using ChatGPT, and the total cost is coming around as $1.4. And even if I apply a factor of 10, it's still coming less than $15. It will still come around $2-3 in your reality. So this is very cheaper and faster compared to the other ways. Let me just quickly show you how you can do this without actually using an AI agent. However, it will be manual. So you come to File, you click on search, and then you go for Halo, which is the image generation model that we are using, or you can use other models as well. And then you search for the image to video models. And if you want to use a different model, that's up to you. You come here and then open this. In this, you create your prompt and make sure to refine it using either ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, whichever one you prefer. You give the image URL here and the end image URL here, so you'll have to save it. You can actually choose it from your device as well, but once you do this, you click on run and you will then get the output. And if you want, you can configure the additional settings as well. What is the duration, prompt optimizer, resolution. And once this video is converted, then you search for upscale, and basically you get a lot of upscaling models. So as you see, there are 2 major video upscaling models, and what I've realized is Topaz is much better. And again, you need to submit your video URL, and for the settings you need to give it an upscale factor, target FPS, and then you click on run, and then you will get the output. It's a bit manual. You need to configure the settings every time, and then you don't have a prompt refinement as well, which I would prefer you do every time you do this kind of process. Lastly, I want to quickly talk about how you can actually use and implement this in your systems or workflows. So basically there are 3 phases that are happening. First is inputs and prompt refinement, then video generation, and then video upscaling. And you should treat each of them separately as a different module. And what you can actually do is select all of them, right click, and then convert 7 nodes to a sub workflow as well. And then you can say video upscale or whatever you want and create a sub workflow. And now, as you see here, this is a different workflow. I've opened this, so I'll just quickly show here. So as you see, this is created a sub workflow and this is a module now. And what you can do is actually generate this and do it in steps. So what you can do is create a UI or connect it with your existing UI and then have a button. Create prompts or refine the prompt basis this input. You can upload these two files and give a basic input. Then you can review the prompt and then have a piece where you say generate video. Then you look at the video. If you like this, and then and only then you click on an upscale button, which you can configure, which is very easy to do. You might need to add 1 or 2 nodes, but I think that's very simple now. And then you can actually create templates for different use cases like logo animation, name card animations. So the prompt more or less remains the same with some or the other changes that will go. So you can create those templates with some variables and some fixed portions as well to make your workflow a bit faster. And if you want this workflow, go to my school community, which is linked in the description. Come to YouTube resources and basically click on any of the events. So let's say if I choose this one, you can see I've given my notes and also given the JSON as well, along with the steps of how you can do this. And you come back to n8n, then you click on this 3 dots and then click on import from file, and everything that you see here will be there along with the user guide and the YouTube video link. So you can actually look at the video when you're building this yourself. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button and share it with a friend who is trying to create motion graphics manually. On a side note, thank you my hardworking ninjas, and thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a good day and I'll see you in the next video.